What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 515 Sports Podcast here on the 515 Podcast Network. I'm Brock Bierman alongside, as always, my boy Chase Winterbore. How are we doing, Chase? It's been a couple weeks since we've done a podcast.
Doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah, I just realized it has been a little bit, so I feel like we're gonna have a lot to talk about tonight. But I've been doing good, man. I'm excited to call a game with you Friday, so
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a little throwback here. So
I know that you're excited that this will probably be our last episode that we talk about college football for a while.
yeah, I don't mind college football. It's just I don't know. I love college basketball a lot more. So I don't know.
I get it. I get it, man.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, let's just get the college football talk out of the way. Ohio State last week, we didn't get time to even preview the matchup because we didn't have a show in a couple weeks. But Ohio State caps the season off after a miserable loss, according to Ohio State fans, to Michigan to end the regular season. They turn it around and run the table in the college football playoff and cap off, in my opinion, a successful season. They finished at 14-2, and their last game was against, obviously, the runners-up of the college football playoff, Notre Dame, who also had a rough loss earlier in the season against Northern Illinois. So credit to both teams being able to bounce back. Final score of that one was 34-23. How much of this game did you watch, or did you even tune in at all?
Yeah, I actually had way too much money pending, so I did watch it. Yes. Yeah, it was, I don't know, kind of a blowout, and then it kind of got interesting at the end, but yeah, I don't know, it's kind of like what I expected, but I don't know, kind of credit to Notre Dame though. I didn't know if they were gonna make it close at the end, but yeah, overall though, I don't know, I thought it was a solid game. At least we didn't have the Georgia TCU thing again, so
I thought it was going that way at one point.
I did too. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. I don't know. What did you think of the playoff though this first year?
There's definitely things I would want changed. I'm still fine with the 12-team playoff. I'll get into that more a little bit here in a sec, but I wanted to talk Ohio State. Credit to them, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
The media flamed them for losing to Michigan, and honestly, rightfully so. Michigan didn't have a good year after winning the national championship, and that's expected once you lose a head coach like Harbaugh and trying to find a way to turn that around and all the other cheating allegations that came along with it. It's never an easy transition, no matter the head coach. I mean, look at Alabama. Alabama did finish ranked, but like according to Alabama fans, that was a disappointing season. So the fact that Michigan was able to pull off the upset against their rival Ohio State in Columbus is very impressive. But I think we mentioned this a couple podcasts ago. It almost is a benefit to not make your conference championship anymore for the Big Ten and SEC.
Yeah, I know. It seems kind of weird that, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously Ohio State didn't get a bye at all, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the like Penn State, like if they probably didn't play, they probably would have gotten a bye. I think, right? I know it's been a little bit, but yeah, so like they would have gotten a bye. Which I mean, granted, they ended up killing SMU anyways, it didn't matter. But yeah, no, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see like how they take like the top 4 seeds as wow, good. I cannot talk, Brock. Goodness gracious.
Good start.
See how they like go forward next year and determine who gets a bye. Is what I meant to say. Because I don't know. I know some people were kind of upset with Boise and Arizona State getting a bye. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Based off of the rules and regulations for this year's playoff on how the seedings were supposed to be handled, I don't have an issue with how they were seeded this year, any of the teams. However, I don't think it should be the way to go for seasons to come. I do think that the conference champions should be rewarded, more specifically for the Big 12 and ACC's purposes, because you win conference championships should still matter, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think the automatic qualifiers should remain, but not guarantee a bye. I think it should just be ranked off of the college football playoff rankings, not the buys versus no buys and all that stuff. Plus, it gives Notre Dame an actual chance because, I mean, a lot of people are like, well, they got punished for not being in a conference. I'm like, well, they're not in a conference. That's their choice. You can
Yeah.
choose to be in a conference or not. By the way, Notre Dame might be the smartest college football team in the country for not being in a conference, because I think they walk away with $21 million for media
Oh,
rights and participation of the college football playoff that they don't have to share with anyone,
yeah,
versus
that's
like
true.
Ohio State, who probably will get a couple mil.
Yeah, that's
So
true. I didn't even think
credit
about
to
that.
them for outsmarting everybody. But I do think that the automatic qualifiers should happen, but I don't think it should be the way it is currently, where they are all buys except for the lowest one.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree too, Brock. I don't know. I mean, if you look at like college, I don't know. I love college basketball. So like if you look at that, for example, like if you're like the regular season like conference winner, like you don't like obviously for like your own conference tournament, you'll get like the 1 seed. But like for the NCAA tournament, it doesn't really mean anything. Obviously I know there's like a little bit different scenarios there. But I don't
Imagine if
know.
like the conference championship winners
The conference
for the
championship winners.
tournaments
Yeah, like the tournament winners, like just because.
automatically get the top seeds.
Yeah, exactly. That would just be silly. So I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts with it overall, though. I don't know. Did you like the 4 home games?
I think there should be more. I
More?
think
Yeah,
it should be the final four should be like that's it.
sure.
The round of 8 should be home field advantages again, because I like the home field advantage part of college football. There's some spots in the NFL that home field advantage does come into play, but
Hmm.
there's nothing like college football and the pageantry and the fandom and the fanatics that are in every fan base, especially the ones that make the college football playoffs on a yearly basis. So the first 2 rounds, if they're going to keep it at 12, I feel like should be home fields. And
Uh-huh.
then if you're worried about pleasing the bowl people, make the big 4 bowls of like, what is it? The Peach Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Cotton Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
Make those the final 4. So, or I guess it would only be 3 games. So you can alternate from the 4 who would be in and who would be out or whatever, or just get rid of the bowl games and just call it the college football playoff final 4.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I want more home games in the playoffs. I'm assuming this is going to expand at some point to 24 teams, honestly, which means that I still think that there should be home field advantages until the Elite 8
Yeah.
of not Elite 8, Final 4 of
Elite
the
8 basketball guy. Here we
yeah,
go.
the Final 4 of the college football playoff. Looking back at this game, 2 quarterbacks that I actually have grown to have mad respect for. I already had a lot of respect for Riley Leonard for the chaotic 0 blanks given, just going to find a way to get the ball down the field and hopefully score. 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And you look at the score at halftime, 21-7, you would assume that he would have thrown a couple picks in this game, but he found a way not to turn over the ball. Also had a touchdown on the ground, led the team in rushing yards, only 40 yards though. 53 total yards for the Irish on the ground, which credit to Ohio State's defense, which they've always been known for having a great defense.
Yeah.
And then your boy, Will Howard.
Goodness.
200,
I cannot believe it, man. That's nuts.
231 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 57 yards on the ground with an average of 3.6 yards per carry. What are your thoughts? I want to get your perspective, because I know you we're on that. We admit when we're wrong on this podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the
apparently.
situations that
Yeah.
you may have been wrong. I'm not trying to call you out, but
No, I was.
Will
I think,
Howard had a good end to
yeah,
the season.
he did. It's more of a Kansas State was holding them back, Brock, is what happened here.
You're telling me if Riley leaves, he'll be a Heisman contender?
Yes, basically. Yes.
Or Avery Johnson. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I knew what you meant. Yeah, once he leaves, man, he's winning natty. It's all Kansas State. Yeah. I mean, credit to Will Howard though, man. I was hitting on him just because he came from K-State, but he proved me wrong for sure. I mean, I think I don't know. He knew what exactly he needed to do for that team, and I think he just executed it perfectly. Just kind of like the saying, know your role. And I think he did everything that he needed to do. Obviously, he has a great core around him, and Okay, sorry, real quick. Is Jeremiah like Smith? Like, is there rumors of him leaving? By the way, or what the heck was that all
Oh,
about?
really? I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
What happened?
Sorry, but yeah. Anywho, we'll come back to that. But yeah. Well, Howard, I'd like to apologize, sir. I was unfamiliar with your game. But yeah, I'm glad I got that out of the way, Brock. So we don't have to talk about that anymore. But yeah, I thought I saw something that like. Well, also.
Oh,
Gosh,
he was rumored to be offered 4.5 million to
okay,
transfer
what
away.
is up with this tampering like garbage in NIL? Like, how are like
Oh,
so
coaches need to start.
horrible.
Coaches and players, if they don't leave teams, should start calling out the schools that are doing it.
No, seriously, yeah. Like it is. I mean, is it not tampering?
It literally is, and there is rules against tampering in college football, whether people want to believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, Rocco got offered like how much money to leave Iowa State, and he didn't. I don't know. Just can someone just like call out like who's offering them, or I don't know. Because it
That's
seems like blatant that you should not be able to do that. But I guess what do I know?
it's so crazy.
But sorry.
By
Anywho,
the way, I'm trying to Emeka Egbuka or whatever.
yeah,
How do you? I apologize for probably mispronouncing
yeah.
his name. He became Ohio State's all-time receiving leader.
Oh, really?
And you look at some of the names that he's played with, and he's never been considered their number one option ever.
Yeah.
Marv, even Smith this year. Credit to him on a great career, six receptions for 64 yards in the national championship. But that was just something I wanted to point out. And yeah, the tampering thing is a major issue in college football. I mean, smaller schools like Iowa State are going to get hosed because of that tampering situation, because players are going to want to leave if they know that they're going to get a certain amount of money out of it. I mean, the worst part is you see players saying, I'm not taking any of these offers and I'm coming back to insert university. And it's like, well, you weren't ever in the portal. How are you getting these offers?
Exactly. So tampering.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm surprised like this hasn't been like addressed yet. I feel like I've seen a lot of like scenarios regarding this. I don't know.
I don't know what the issue is with tampering right now. Coaches have called it out, players have called it out, nothing has been done. We'll see if something can happen. Once the universities will get upset once they start paying players full time as like pretty much staff members. Once that happens, if they even hear about tampering, they're going to start calling other schools out, and this is going to become a bloodbath.
Yeah, I know. And I wouldn't surprise me if that day came, Brock. So
yeah. But credit again goes to Ohio State, second college football playoff championship. By the way, do you realize that they won both the first ever college football playoff and the first ever 12-team college football playoff?
Yeah. So they just need to keep changing up, and they'll probably keep winning. So
I guess. I mean, you know how long ago that was? Zeke was playing.
Dude, I remember that. That was like prime Zeke, dude. Those were the good old days.
Jeez,
man.
That seems like forever ago.
Yeah, we're old.
I mean, it was a fun season. A lot of storylines that had nothing to do with football. I feel like the college football playoff was fun, but it added so much bias, just drama, terrible journalism, just
terrible journalism.
I mean, I guess I don't know if you consider what some TV shows do as journalism anymore, but I'm not calling anybody out specifically because I don't want to.
What, ESPN? I'll call them out.
Not the only ones. Let's just say that. But we'll see what happens. I think I saw something. You will like this. Someone did a way too early bracket of the 12-team playoff. Can you guess who comes out of the Big 12?
Yep.
Can you guess who comes out of the Big 12?
Who comes out of the Big 12? I don't know, Kansas State?
Nope.
Utah?
Yep.
Not surprised. Dude, Utah, man. They just run the Big 12, man. Look at their football and basketball programs, man. They just run the Big 12 the minute they entered the conference, Brock. They tried telling us.
I will say Madsen for their basketball team. Not the
Oh,
long-haired one, the other one.
like
45.
Buzzcut.
Have you seen
Yeah.
his YouTube channel?
He has a YouTube channel?
He vlogs his
Oh, really?
yeah, and he gave some
No.
good credit to Iowa State.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty fun to watch.
Dude, okay, now this just came now talking about Utah. I guess I don't really have anything against their basketball program. But did oh wow, Chase, talk. I was watching their game against Baylor, or whatever, and I forget what the guy's name is. One of the ESPN guys was like doing a section with I think his name's like Craig Smith. I should know this, the Utah
Mhm.
coach. I didn't know if you knew this or not, Brock, but he has like literally like action figures, like WWE guys in his office.
Are you serious?
I'm not making this up, dude. Yes, this just came to my head, but I can't believe I didn't tell you this before. But
Well,
this guy is probably going to be your favorite coach now.
I gotta get on Twitter. What is?
I don't know
Why
if it's
haven't
on
I seen?
Twitter because I was just watching it on like I was watching the game. I think his
Yeah,
name's Craig Smith though. It was just kind of a generic name. I want to say. Well, let me look it up too.
that's hilarious if that's true.
Yes.
I'll have to
Yep,
look
it's
it
Craig
up
Smith.
later on.
Yep. But anywho, yeah, like he had well, what was it? I think they're doing like a Mount Rushmore of like his favorite wrestlers. So I think like Hulk Hogan's on there.
That's hilarious.
Stone Cold, like yeah, a
I
bunch of stuff
wouldn't
like
put
that.
Hulk Hogan on mine, but yeah, I agree.
I know Brock doesn't like Hulk Hogan, but yeah,
And full disclosure, it has nothing to do with politics. I just don't like the guy.
it's okay, Brock. It's okay. I didn't think
Uh,
this would be or we were talking about WWE on here, but here we are.
yeah, you never know what happens on this podcast, I guess.
That's right.
Let's get past college football finally. Honestly, I need a break from college football
Yes, you
as
do.
well.
Here
Get
we go.
full into college basketball. Chase sent me some things that he wants to talk a little bit about. One of those things being Alabama's
Yeah,
schedule
yeah,
over
that
the
is one of them.
next week, or honestly, probably
So
the next month.
yeah, it kind of like what did it start like the 15th of February is where like and I just saw this on Twitter today and I'm like, holy moly. I don't know if Brock, you got that pulled up.
I'm going to pull it up here, but you can start.
Okay. Yeah, or I'll wait for you to pull it up.
Okay.
I'm lazy looking up their schedule. But yeah, I think starting on like February 15th, basically to like end of conference play is just a gauntlet. It's I'd be surprised if they don't have at least like 3 losses out of this, but
You said from the fifth. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
yeah, like the 15th or something. I don't know. I can't remember the date, but yeah. Is this it?
Yep. So 15th is at Auburn.
Yep.
Honestly, you can even
Goodness.
go back to the 11th because at Texas isn't a guaranteed win either.
True. They've been playing better.
But you go the 15th at home, I guess, versus Auburn. The 19th at Missouri, which shout out Caleb Grill. What a
Amen, dude.
comeback season that needs to be studied for sure. At home
Yeah.
versus number 12 Kentucky. At home versus number 14 Mississippi State. At Tennessee, number 8 at the time, as we're recording here on a Monday. Number 5 at home versus Florida, and then at Auburn, number 1. What a stretch! If they let's see,
That's
here.
crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 games on this stretch. I added Texas in just because I think that being at Texas is a difficult one. Well, even you look at the games up here to start February with Georgia and Arkansas and Mississippi. The rest of their schedule is unbelievable. This is terrible.
Crazy, dude.
So,
I know I kind of like dogging on the SEC, but I'll give them credit. Their basketball is pretty dang good this year. I'll give them that.
So let's go from February 11th to March 8th. If they win 4 of those 8, I'm
credit to them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm just looking also at like these ticket prices for the Auburn game too. I mean, that's crazy. The very last game, $435 is the cheapest ticket. Are you kidding me?
Hey, whoa! Look at this, bro.
Yeah, and then there's Mississippi State, but
Mississippi State literally is just a basketball program that is really good, but exists in an area that no one cares about basketball.
yeah, exactly. It's much of just rednecks who just like football. Anywho, though, yeah, I came across that. today and was like, goodness gracious, that is a gauntlet. So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to share that with the people, and I don't know. We'll see how Bama, because I think Bama is. Well, I hate Joe Lunardi. Don't get me started, but I think he has him as like the third overall, so like in the 1 seed. So
Yep.
I don't know. That'll be something to keep an eye on and kind of going forward the rest of the year. For
Yeah,
sure.
they've been really impressive and really fun to watch.
Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, finishing 500 in that run, like I still would give them a top 2 seed easily.
Yeah. Oh, I would too. I would too. I totally forgot. I want to talk about this too. Did you see any of like the second half of their game though on Saturday?
I did not. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay.
Saturday for me for basketball was majority Big 12, which I mean we're gonna
No,
definitely talk
that's
about.
I respect that. Um, and I thought this was kind of a big storyline, but Nate Oates, I don't know if you saw this. He didn't play Mark Sears the whole second half.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. So he just sat on the bench basically the whole second half. Granted, Bama was playing LSU, so they're gonna win anyways. But and then basically, I think like Oates said like post game that like he just put the guys out there who thought like would win the game, who are just playing well and stuff. So I don't know. I just was like, there's got to be something more to that. Like, how do you not play an All American point guard who even like I guess I didn't even watch the first half, but even if he was playing bad, like I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something going on there.
His mom posted something on Facebook and it's really long. I won't have time to share all of it.
Wow. Okay.
That's weird. Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
I
I'm
would
kind of
like to
curious.
think it's a nothing burger, but
Yeah. Like I just don't understand how you don't play him the whole second half, and like I don't think he was hurt. So
I don't know. Maybe he said something that upset him, which I mean, sometimes you got to do that to the players
yeah.
to show them that you're in control still of your program. And but he's a senior. I don't know. That's weird that a senior gets benched because you don't normally see that in the senior side of things.
Yeah, let alone an All American point guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Talking more college basketball here. Let's talk about a team that isn't in the current top 5, but is still, I think, the 4th or the 3rd best odds to win the national championship this year. Houston is a walking no, it's not even a walking, a sleeping giant that I feel like no one is talking about right now.
Yeah, I would agree, Brock. I would agree. I assume you watched that game Saturday.
Yeah, versus Kansas.
Wow.
One of the probably my favorite game so far this entire season. Houston ends up coming back late in the second half against Kansas. Back and forth battle overall, anyways. But 90, they went to 2 overtimes. 92-86 is the final score. Kansas had 2 opportunities, both in regulation and the first overtime, to win this game easily, and they messed up big time. I can't remember what the regulation one was, but in overtime, all they had to do was inbound the ball, and they would get a couple free throws, turn the ball over, give up a 3. Do you remember what happened in regulation? I'm trying to remember what happened.
What did happen in regulation? Oh my gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. What
Why
did
am I
happen,
forgetting?
Why am I forgetting this? Too much happened in that game, dude.
Oh, they fouled Juwan Roberts.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and I was
because they were in
surprised
the
he made both
bonus.
free throws too. He's not the best free throw shooter, so
Yeah. I remember that now because I remember going, ooh, that may come back and bite them in the butt. And then I was like, oh, wait, he's not necessarily the greatest free throw shooter in the world.
yeah,
But he was able to
as he
get it.
makes both.
Yeah, as he makes both. Let's see here. He is a 55.6% free throw shooter on the year, and he goes 2 for 2 in Allen Fieldhouse in the biggest game of the Cougars season as they improve to what 8-0 in conference now, 16-13 overall.
Yeah,
They have yet to lose a home.
Yep, they haven't lost a conference game.
That's what was the stat though? They haven't lost a conference game since when of last year?
Oh, I have no idea what stat that is.
Um,
Sorry.
oh my gosh, is it us? No, they haven't lost a conference game.
Like in the regular season?
Yeah, in the regular season since
Oh,
February 3rd against Kansas of last year.
wow. Yeah.
So
Houston, yeah. They are I agree, Brock. They are a tough team. I guess dude, I just don't get me started on Joe Lunardi. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna pull this up here. I'm kind of curious now.
do you
I
want me
know
to
a
just
lot of
pull up
people were.
bracketology on here?
Wait, what?
Do you want me to just pull it up, the bracketology on here?
Actually, if you want, yeah, that works.
Okay.
I know, like not too long ago, I was seeing Houston and some people as like a 5 seed, and I was just dying laughing.
Okay. You want to find Houston? Let's see here. Oops.
How are they a 4 seed?
Houston versus Sanford. That's a good question.
Is this like just now updated?
This was updated on the 24th. So this hasn't been updated.
I mean,
This
still
is
though,
3 days old.
that's crazy. I don't
By the
know how
way,
they're for that.
look at, did you see that Nebraska-Wisconsin game?
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it, but I did
It
see the
was so
final.
bad. We watched it before
Yep.
the football games on Sunday. Oh, Hoiberg was just sitting there like, "What? I can't do anything about this. They just keep
Yeah.
making threes." He's like,
Yeah.
"Usually it's my teams that make
They
those."
make I know. Yeah, I mean they kind of got off to a solid start, and then yeah, they've been awful for the past like 6 or so games. But sorry, Fred.
Yeah, but looking at this bracketology thing, most
That's
recent one
nuts.
3 days ago, you got Auburn at 1, Duke at 1, Iowa State at 1, Alabama at 1. The 2 seeds are Kansas, Florida. So this will get updated. I think Houston will bump up to that 2 seed
I would
here.
hope so.
Um, Florida, Kansas at 2 seeds, as well as Tennessee, Marquette. I think I don't buy Marquette, dude.
Oh, I never buy as long as Shaka Smart is the coach, I won't buy Marquette. I'm sorry.
I
Shaka
get it.
Smart is the biggest fraud in March ever, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Paul Jesperson agrees.
Oh God, I should have known that was yeah. That was a great game, man. Great game.
The next game wasn't so good, but
That's okay.
um, yeah, I wanted to ask you about this. I know that it wasn't brought up on the list that you sent me.
Mhm.
I'm looking at some of these teams and some of the storylines that we have here in this college basketball season. One of them is a team that's looking to go for a three-peat. What were your opinions? What were your thoughts? I'm assuming you saw this of what Dan Hurley said to the official.
That he's like the best coach in the game or something.
I think it was more there was different words used, but yes.
Oh well, yeah, I was
Yeah.
using the PG version. I know
Yeah.
kids are watching, so yeah. I just think that's Dan Hurley being Dan Hurley, man. Not honestly anything he says at this point, I'm not really surprised. Granted, he's won back-to-back titles. I feel like he can probably say whatever he wants, but I don't know, man. It's just kind of I want to say like refreshing, but like for a guy who's kind of gotten a little bit cocky, I would say it's nice seeing them take a little step back. I know they're without Liam McNeely, but I don't know. I was watching that Xavier game like Saturday, and I don't know. They just don't really impress me really at all this year. I know like obviously they lost a lot of guys too, but I don't know. The Big East is just I just feel like it's kind of down, Brock. I think I may have mentioned that before the year, but I'm not really super
This is a
impressed yet.
bad year for some conferences to have a down year because the
Yeah,
SEC is just
it's
dominating.
just dominant. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't know. Going back to Dan though, I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Doesn't shock me.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
He's a
He just said so
competitor.
many. Yeah,
So like I don't think he cares for the media. I don't think a lot of
no,
coaches care for the media. So when those
no.
questions get asked about that, he's just like, because I'm assuming you saw the whole thing about, well, if they got the cameras off me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well, TV strives off of entertainment to gain viewership. And
exactly.
you are probably the most entertaining thing of your basketball team right now.
Yeah, true. So you're gonna be on TV, buddy.
So, and the best part is going into the Iowa State game this weekend. I was telling some people, I was like, "Oh yeah, you guys are going to find out that there's another Hurley,"
Oh yeah,
and they're
Bobby.
like, "There's another one." I'm like, "Yeah." The problem is This one doesn't have as much success, so he just gets angry in general.
I know. Yeah,
I will say he was more tamed than I thought. Bobby Hurley is who I'm referring to at Arizona State than I thought he was going to be against Iowa State. But man, he was getting heated too, even though it wasn't necessarily for officiating. He was just getting upset in general.
That's just that he's always like that. But yeah, I mean, actually, sorry, I'm talking about Iowa State now. Did you see his comment about like how he's never seen like that many? Yeah,
I had the people that sit behind us in section 205 sent us a photo. They went to the game, representing us. They went to go see the Phoenix Suns play that same night, but Monte didn't play because of coach's decision, and they were so upset that Monte didn't play.
Freaking Coach Bud, man, let me tell you.
He doesn't know winning basketball. He doesn't know winning basketball.
No, he don't know the ball.
Dude, I'm looking at Hurley's like record at Arizona State.
Bobby?
Yeah. He's either like really good or just is he Fran McCaffrey? Dude.
Could be.
Like this is off of Wikipedia, so who knows if this is 100%
Well, this
accurate.
is right. I've never seen Wikipedia be wrong.
I'll zoom in here. But this is his stats at Arizona State. 15-17, 15-18, 2012, 23-11, 2011, 11-14, 14-17, 23-13, 14-18, and currently 11-7. Is he like
this is all over?
He's like the Fran McCaffrey of the Big 12 now.
He kind of is, yeah. Just you never know where you're gonna get.
First, that hasn't even made the second weekend either. So yeah, he is Fran.
I didn't realize too how long he's been there.
Yeah, they were talking about his tenure at Arizona State on ESPN Plus this past weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's been there that long.
I had no idea. Wow. What was the year they had Remy Martin? Was that 2018-19?
That's a good question.
Or maybe it was 1920. It might have been 1920.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, sorry, anywho.
I was just like, good Lord, he's been here forever. And at the same time, he's never been like, I thought he was going to turn that program around into like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
But I guess not. I guess I don't know ball.
Yeah. I think it's kind of tough too, being in the same state as Arizona. Like, I just feel like Arizona is always going to get those better recruits.
That's the thing. And we're recording here before the Iowa State game. This is going to be live on Tuesday. If you're watching the podcast live, Iowa State plays Arizona at 9:30 tonight. Going to be a late night for us.
Yeah, I know. Gonna need to pump some energy drinks.
I think the spread right now is 2.5 in favor of Arizona. I told my mom that, and she's like, "Why would an unranked team be favored against the number 3 team in the country?" I was like, "They have fans that like because they're a place that." Home court advantage does matter. And she's like, but, and she went, well, what about all the Iowa State fans that were at the Arizona State game? I'm like, Arizona State doesn't have a basketball fan base.
No.
Arizona has a basketball fan base.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
By the way, did you see the videos and the photos and memes of Arizona State's football team with the Big 12 championship trophy?
Didn't realize I got beef with Arizona State now, but all right.
Yeah. And they were chanting the "Where's your trophy?" the thing or whatever, and everybody was like, "Y'all don't realize we're literally defending Big 12 champs in the actual sport that we were watching on Saturday."
Yeah,
but it's okay.
It's okay. You can still talk about something that happened over a month ago.
Enjoy the first weekend of the tournament. That's it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I saw Kurt or my boy Jiggy said something about like how he didn't like them doing that, and I'm like, God, I love you so much, Kurt.
He took it personally, man. He did the Jordan thing.
Gosh, I love him. But I did see that. Is
Curtis Jones the Big 12 Player of the Year in your opinion at this point?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that, Brock. I think he is. Let's pull up some stats here for you. 1 second here. Let's see.
Because I know you love talking about Curtis Jones,
dude. Gosh, he's literally my favorite player ever, Brock. You have no idea. It's just I think we bonded so. Honestly, he might be, and you know how much I love Tyrus, dude. Tyrus is my OG. It's just I think we bonded. Wait, what?
I was gonna say Chase loves 6 men off the bench.
Dude, it just gets me going, man. Gets me going. I love the little spark. But dude, I don't know. I think we bonded last year when everyone, and Brock remembers this, when everyone and their mom was like, "Why is this guy shooting so much? Like he just can't make a shot." Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then TCU game rolls around, and now everyone's the biggest Curtis Jones fan ever. Alrighty, guys, let's not jump all on board here.
Chase is usually the guy that picks out the guy that everybody's gonna hate for some reason.
I do.
Gabe Kalsher.
Gabe.
Now you got Kojo. Who's next, man?
I was kind of on the huge Brant Chatfield train, but he's just, I don't know, man. He's letting me down recently. I still love the guy, but
Brant Chatfield would be one of the best players in the country, and if it was the early 2000s.
It would, yes.
He's got the goatee. He's got the rebounds. He's got the inside presence off screens and everything. Yes. Oh, Chatfield would be one of the best. He'd be Big 12 Player of the Year contender if this was the early 2000s. But Curtis Jones has been playing unbelievable this year. I know you have some stats that you want to rattle off.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking right now, man, and like, so I guess I don't know what gets brought into like consideration for like this award, but like more than half the season he comes off the bench, and he's like literally in second place right now in like points per game in the Big 12. And this guy comes off the bench. Granted, I know he probably plays a lot of minutes too, and now he's starting because Milan got hurt. But anyway, second in scoring, man, behind Javon Small, who apparently West Virginia only shows up against like top 10 teams. If they're playing anyone else, they just don't
hate
try.
Being everybody's Super Bowl.
Yeah, apparently So, anywho, and yeah, I get like the Hunter Dickinson talk too, man. But I know there's like a lot of KU fans out there that don't even think that he's good.
I will get on a soapbox, man.
Go ahead.
I think Dickinson is not even talented. I think he's just tall. I'm gonna look up this.
That's fine.
I'm gonna look up this. See if I can find a text about Hunter Dickinson.
No, you're fine. You're good, bro.
One, he ends his career at Kansas 0-2 at Hilton. But that's just. Yeah, I sent this. During the Kansas game, I texted someone, Hunter Dickinson might have the least amount of talent I've ever seen from a big guy. He's just tall.
All he does, catch the ball up high and just put it up.
I said nothing special.
No, I don't know.
And this person doesn't watch the NBA, so I didn't make this comparison. He's literally I do think Jokic is talented, but he's like if Jokic was really bad at basketball.
Yeah. I would agree.
This is what Jokic was in NBA 2K, whatever his rookie year was, when he was like a 56 overall, no face scan, looked like a creative player type of skill.
Yes, yeah.
He doesn't impress me.
No, if you actually, I don't know. And like, I guess one of my old roommates, shout out my boy Trey, giving him a shout out on the podcast. Like, he's like a huge KU fan, and he just dogs on this guy like no other. Like, he's just not athletic, I don't think. And the reason like people talk about him is they just look at numbers. Like, I don't think people actually like watch the games. Obviously, you could say he's a liability on the defensive end. I don't know.
Pronounce Flory's last name?
Flory? Oh yeah, that guy. I mean, I think
I like him.
He's better, but
he's more of an asset to Kansas than Hunter Dickinson is on this team.
Yeah,
because literally their only presence in the post for some reason in that second half was lobbing it up to Flory.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
Once he fouled out, I knew it was over for Kansas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Dickinson's leading the team in points and all that, but like, I just don't think he performs well when it matters most. I mean, look at his stats against Iowa State: 6 points. Yeah, he had 8 rebounds, but he had 4 fouls. This took 2 overtimes, and all he had to show against Houston was 17 points and 8 rebounds. So
I don't know.
And then you look at their other losses. You stop Dickinson, which I mean, you just double him. He gets like flustered when teams double him in the post for some reason. And you hold him under 12 points, you're going to win against Kansas. I thought that this Kansas team was going to be really good. They have some talented players, but I don't know if they're that number one team that everybody thought they were going to be heading into this year. But get back to your Curtis Jones.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I'm trying to think of like just other guys like who people would be like, yeah, like he's Big 12. Like I know the Javon Small thing, but like I don't I don't think you can give it to a guy who's like team. Are they even like, I don't know, middle of the conference? Like, I don't know. Maybe you can. I just don't really. I don't know. I don't think you can give it to him. I don't think Hunter Dickinson is anything special. It wouldn't surprise me if people just look at stats. But I don't know. Like, I'm looking at like just this big, like the Big 12 best players list. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. But like, I don't know who else you're gonna give it to. I really don't, Brock.
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn, yeah, you
I'm
could give
kidding.
it to Keyshawn.
I'm kidding.
I love
If
Keyshawn.
Joshua Jefferson was averaging Hunter Dickinson points,
Yes.
he Hunter Dickinson wouldn't even be talked about in the Big
No.
12.
No, seriously, yes. I'm 100% agree. I think honestly, I would. I don't know. This might be a crazy take, but I would say maybe Zeke Mayo might be the best player on that team. I don't know if that's
Oh,
something
I
crazy
don't
to
think
say.
that's crazy.
Okay.
I think that's actually a really good take.
All right. Thanks.
I feel like his 3-point shooting's been improving the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he's a good shooter for
Yeah,
sure. But
averaging around 15 points a game. But no, I do think Iowa State is lucky that Emmanuel Sharp and LJ Cryer are kind of sharing the points,
uh-huh.
because if one of those guys were averaging over 15 points a game, I think that they would be the front runners for Big 12 Player of the Year, just
Yep.
because where they're at standings wise. Because I do think, my opinion, standings should matter, not
Oh yeah,
just stats. It should be a combination of both. So I
I
do
agree.
think if the Big 12 ended today, I do think Jones would get Player of the Year, combination
Hmm.
of stats and the position that Iowa State's in.
Yep.
Now, if for some reason West Virginia just goes off and doesn't lose the remainder of the games, Javon Small would probably win it, just because if
Yeah.
West Virginia somehow wins out, that would be really, really impressive given the
Uh-huh.
Big 12. But yeah, I think Curtis Jones is the best player in the Big 12 currently.
Attaboy.
Again, I still don't think people are talking enough about Joshua Jefferson. Just
Yes, I would agree
I
with that.
don't
He's
think
so
people
underrated.
realize how good this Iowa State roster is talent wise.
Uh-huh. Yep. And
And
we're right now
so,
we're playing without Momcilovic, so
yeah, we're playing
who's
with
been
it.
great 3-point shooter for us. So
Yep. Uh, Dude, I'm telling you, I guess I don't feel bad because this is a 5-on-5 sports pod, so we can keep it Central Iowa based. So, and anyways, most people listening probably want to hear Iowa State related content anyways.
true,
But
true.
uh, Nate Heisey
Nate.
is due, and it won't be a home game because it's never a home game, is due for a game where he
Oh, he
just
is.
absolutely goes off, doesn't miss.
Hmm.
I think of like Caleb Grill versus North Carolina, like
Yeah,
just legacy game. He's due
he is
for a
so due.
game where he just, the lid is taken
Hmm.
off. He goes like four of six from three, something like that.
Yep.
Um,
I know. I
because
feel
when
so bad for the guy.
because coming in stats wise, he's one of the, again, this is why stats don't always matter. It matters about the program, where you're going to use each player for what. But stats wise, he's one of the best transfers, if not maybe even the best transfer statistically that TJ ever got. Because
Oh, really? I guess I didn't know that.
I mean, I'm looking at, like, he was like Northern Iowa's only scorer the year before.
I knew he was like a 35% 3-point shooter at least, I thought. And then I
Um,
don't know what's yeah.
let me see if I can find his stats, and maybe I'm a little bit wrong and blowing it a little bit out of proportion on
I don't
how
think
good he was. But I swear that year that he was at Northern Iowa before he transferred, he was their team. Like, and they were not that good last year.
I mean, yeah, he was averaging 35% from 3 last year, and this
So
year he's only
13 and a
shooting.
half points per game. I guess Kojo was averaging about 15 his last season in Buffalo. But 13 and a half points per game, 6 rebounds per game, shooting 46% from the field, which is actually his second lowest in his career at UNI. But
Uh-huh.
man, if he can get that lid off, which again I think he's due for one of those games where he hits 4 or 5 threes
Yeah.
on the road to help Iowa State win in a tough environment. I'm not trying to like manifest what's about to happen maybe tonight,
Please,
but
Ren. We need it.
that would be literally the greatest thing in the world, because he made that three against UCF and people were like, here we go. Here we
I
go.
know.
And man,
Didn't he like airball his next one too?
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't
You got
talk
a
about
heat
it.
check, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a little heat check. That's all.
Um,
But yeah.
Getting back into overall college hoops, not necessarily picking your final four, but if you had to invest in four teams for a potential championship, who would your four teams be? Just curious at this
Ooh, now
moment.
you got me all giddy, Brock. I love talking about this. All right. So, I think I don't like to be too chalk, but I don't know how you don't take Auburn here.
Yep.
They're just easily the best team in the country, in my opinion. Um, I I get a little, I don't know. I have my questions about Duke. I obviously they are really good. I know they also do have some freshmen, which I feel like. Sorry, let me back up. I feel like college basketball nowadays, like you really need like the experience and like kind of like upperclassmen to make it far. However, no, I don't know. I feel like this Duke team is just Cooper Flagman is
It's
just different.
different.
He's different. He really is. So I'd probably say Duke. Um, I am gonna be different and not say Iowa State because I'm just gonna obviously you know how I feel about them.
It's one of those where we haven't made the final four since
Yeah,
1944. So like
yeah.
it's one of those where it's like I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep, yep. So, obviously though, great team. Um, and this is also, I just hate doing this because I love the Big 12, but I don't know if I can ever really invest in Houston, Brock. It pains me to say. I really like the team, but I
I
just
fe-
need, I don't know.
Am I crazy to think like how long has Houston kind of been like dominant? Has it been like the last 5 years where they've been like really, really good, or has it been even shorter than that, or longer? I'm
It's
trying to
been a
remember.
while. Yeah, they've been good for a while.
Because like I started thinking when I was leaving the house today, because I don't know why, but college hoops were on my mind when I was
Same
heading
every
to
morning,
work,
Brock. Every morning.
and I was like,
Yep.
Houston on paper and roster wise could have literally won the last like 4 or 5 national championships. It really feels like, and they just
Uh-huh.
never can get over that hump for some reason.
Yeah. I know. Like they always have I just think the offense is holding them back. I don't know. Well,
Sometimes defense is great, but like if
but
you're playing against an unbelievable talented offensive team, like
uh-huh.
maybe even Duke's an example when you're playing a star like Cooper Flag, it's
Mhm.
not going to always bode well for you.
Yeah. I don't know. So I I don't know. I just want to throw that out there. And I'm gonna say something that I absolutely regret. And you can call him I hope you like bookmark this and be like, Chase, what are you talking about? Because I hate this guy more than any other coach right now, but I might have Michigan State, Brock. That absolutely pained me to say that. I hate
Dude, I didn't even realize that they were like
they've been playing some
this
great
past
ball though.
weekend is when it really hit me that they're in the top 10. I was
Yep.
like, oh, Tom Izzo finally found a way to get a team to put together in this era.
Yeah. I would like to say I'm sorry. I still think he's the most overhyped coach of all time, but I've been impressed, man. I've watched a lot of their games, and I'm actually starting to become pretty impressed. I might throw them in there for to be different, and then I feel like for my last team, dude, you just got to go like crazy here, right? It's like
Oh,
college basketball.
I kind of got, yeah. That's why I wanted like 3 teams that you think that could be like
Uh huh.
obvious choices, and then one kind of out of the blue. And I
Out of
kind
the
of have
blue.
one that I'll mention later, but I want to
Okay.
hear what you got first.
Yeah, my kind of like crazy, like, I don't know. I feel like you gotta go with like a mid major. I might go with New Mexico.
Okay.
Of the Mountain West. I've been really impressed with them. I know Utah State's up there too, in the Mountain West, but I don't know, dude. I've always had a thing for New Mexico. I don't know what it is. Richard Pitino has my heart apparently, so
You just love those coaches that sucked in the Power Five and all of a
I
sudden
do.
just cook
I do.
in the.
I don't know, man. I've been impressed with them. I've watched a couple of their games. They got a really good guard play, and I think that's kind of one thing I like in March. So I don't know. That's as of January 27th. We'll see how I'm feeling in March. But anywho, Brock, let's hear yours.
All right. Well, obviously I got Auburn. I right now, if
Yeah,
the tournament started tomorrow, I would make my bracket and have Auburn probably winning the national championship.
agreed.
When they're healthy, I think they're pound for pound the best team right now, and it's showing. They unbelievable environment that they have down there. I never thought that Auburn would be like a place I would like ever think would have a really good basketball.
Yeah.
Um, but shout out that program. Honestly, I watched them in the Final Four before, and they didn't get screwed. Kind of got screwed.
No,
I
they
don't
got
know.
screwed. They
I
got
don't
screwed.
know.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
But second team, I don't know if I would. The youth is the thing I hesitant to say Duke, so I'm not gonna say Duke. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say Iowa State for just to keep this kind of different. I know we just literally talked about them, but I feel like I said earlier, I think this is the year that Houston could do it because
Okay.
nobody's talking about them as much as everybody else. Because
Sure.
it felt like every year Houston was like one of the biggest talking points every week in
Yep.
basketball, and it's like how much are they going to hold this team to, and scoring wise, who are they going to beat this week? And they have 3 stinker losses on their schedule, which I mean, it's one of them's against Auburn, so not as bad of a loss. The other one's to Alabama. San Diego State might be their biggest stinker on their current resume, but you know, I think they're playing some of the best basketball right now in the country. They're holding opponents really low on the scoring column. I mean, heck, again, we said Utah's not necessarily a good program, but they held them to 36 points.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, looking at the Big 12, they have only allowed over 70 once, and that was in a 2 overtime game against Kansas. They've only allowed 2 teams to score over 60. So
that defense is cracked.
it's I'm hesitant to say it. Again, like I said, Auburn's my heavy favorite, so like my second option is probably not a close second. So Houston would be that though. Outside of that, I don't know. Now you mentioned the drama with the Alabama. I don't know if they're good, if their program is like got something going on, because I like Alabama.
I do too, but now I'm kind of scared.
So let me go Alabama / I kind of like. I know that they dropped down in the rankings. I kind of like Kentucky.
Okay. Pope believer.
No.
But
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, my third option is not even remotely close to even my 2 option. But you ready? I've talked about this team a couple times.
Is it Bradley?
No. They're ranked though, so I don't know how out there it is. But I really like Memphis, dude.
Yeah, their team, they had a great win yesterday. I was watching that game.
Dude, they're like scheduled programming for me. When they're playing on TV, I'm watching them. They're so fun to watch, man.
Yeah, they are really good. PJ Haggerty, dude, he's tough.
He's a dog. And again, I know we used to hate on him, but Tyrese Hunter is in a unbelievable place with that program. Penny Hardaway has gotten a lot of hate over the years. This could be a year that he could maybe establish himself as a good coach.
Your dad would love hearing you say that.
Yeah. Dane Danger.
He's so good. He's underrated. I don't know how he's not talked about more.
I remember growing up, you used to be like, Dane it. And I was like, that sounds like Dane Danger. Every time I hear Dane Danger, I just think of you going, Dane it.
Dane it. Dane it. It's just, I'm a huge Dane Danger fan. That's why. And
Danger and Cisse might be like the best like last name duo for
front court. Yeah.
But PJ Haggerty averaging 22 points a game, leading the way, and then every once in a while when you need him, Tyrese Hunter can show up. I feel like this is a good team that could really be a team that gets a good ranking, but a lot of people expect to maybe drop the ball in the first 2 rounds and then finds its way in the Final Four. That's the vibes I'm getting from this team, where it's like, oh, this is going to be the team that loses to 10 seed or something like that. And then all of a sudden they're playing in the Final Four for whatever reason. Haggerty, Hunter are the duo that I really like, that stats wise. And then, Danger and Cisse can do some great things on the boards as well. And you talked about Michigan State. They do have a win against Michigan State earlier in the year.
Yeah, they do.
71 to 63. Their losses aren't their losses. Go figure. Auburn is one of them.
Auburn, of course.
Arkansas State might be their worst, and then Mississippi State 79-66. But outside of that, and Temple. So they are, like I'm saying, that's that team that people will look at the schedule, and they'll be like, I could see them dropping to that double-digit seed, and then. But I do think they're playing really good basketball right now, and if they keep it up, I feel like their trajectory can just only go up from here. And they're my sleeper for a Final Four bid.
Yeah, well, I would agree, Brock. I would agree.
But yeah, and anything else that you can fit in here in the next 4 minutes that you want to talk about? I do have a quick question for you before we hop off. That's not college basketball related, but
yeah, just hit me with a quick question. Otherwise, we'll go on a tangent.
Okay. How? Because we'll talk about this on the Sports Nerds in a couple days.
Brian Schottenheimer?
Yeah. How are we feeling about the hire in Dallas?
Dude, I already talked to Zay about this.
You sent me the CM Punk meme, and I was dying.
Yep, the CM Punk meme is exactly how I feel, man. As long as Jerry Jones and his stupid son are alive, I'm cooked, man. I'm absolutely cooked. That's how I feel.
That killed me because I didn't even know that they hired someone, and I had to Google like what happened, and then
yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I hope I'm wrong, man. I know I'm not wrong, but I hope I'm wrong. But it's been a depressing life, man. Shout out the Los Angeles Dodgers, though. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is it's embarrassing, dude. It is so embarrassing. We're seeing the freaking Commanders make the NFC Championship game out here with a rookie quarterback, and I haven't even seen that in my lifetime. Like, how sad is that? Thank you, CM Punk.
Let me know if you can hear this.
Okay.
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead. But the fact is, it's going to get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family.
That is exactly how I feel right now. So, yep, I'm glad we could bring some WWE into this, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I guess, yeah, you're talking about that on Sports Nerds tomorrow?
Probably around Thursday, I think, is when we're going to record.
Yeah.
It'll be more of a fun episode just because the Pro Bowl.
Not because the Chiefs? Sorry.
By the way, I want to get your opinion. Are you rooting for Kansas City?
I am, baby.
We're all Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Anytime a Philly team can lose, sign me up.
No, I don't. Obviously, I don't really have anything against Saquon, but I'm not cheering for literally the worst humans alive are Eagle fans. I'm not cheering for them, bro. Yep. Heck no. So
worse than Celtics fans?
Yeah, actually, I would go that far. I would go that far.
I'll take it.
They're awful, dude. They're literally so bad.
The only person that's wishing for Saquon's downfall is the Giants organization.
Basically, yeah. I know. I don't know. I saw a video of this Eagles fan. There was in this Commanders fan's face after the game. Just took his hat and just ran. That's just normal behavior in Philly. So. Did
you watch the Chiefs game yesterday?
I did. Yes.
Am I okay? I've seen worse calls. I know some people are complaining about not just that call, but just some of the calls that happened. And I've seen worse officiated games.
Yeah. Oh, I have too, especially for the Chiefs games. Yeah. I don't know. Obviously, you could talk about that one. I don't really have a say on that but I think there has been way worse officiated games for sure.
I left the game and I was like, I thought that was pretty decent. Honestly, I know the fourth one was kind of. I'm sorry, but when you run the same play 14 different times and you're not Philly, you're going to get stopped.
Yeah.
If everybody knows what you're going to do.
Yeah. You're going to get stuffed. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's more on Buffalo. I don't feel bad. I know a lot of people are like, I feel bad for Josh Allen and all that. Okay. I can get having sympathy for him, but you ran. Nope. Yeah. Everybody knew you were going to do the tush push.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I saw a video. Sorry, now I'm just going on a Dodger tangent. I saw a video. This guy, I guess he got asked, I don't know when this was, a year or two ago, who's his favorite MLB team? And he goes, anyone but the Dodgers. So I don't feel bad for this guy at all, man. Go Chiefs. Sorry.
Hey, it's all right. But we'll be back next week. I think next week we should do a Super Bowl based podcast, but more on the random fun prop bets that you can like look at.
Oh
like,
yeah, like the
like
Gatorade and stuff
Gatorade,
like that.
the
Yeah.
over/under on the national anthem,
For
fun
sure.
stuff like that.
Yes, that'd be down.
But of course, we'll have college basketball talk as well
Thank
here on
you.
the 515 Sports Podcast. For Chase Winterbore, I'm Brock Bierman. We'll be back next week here on the 515 Sports Podcast, here on the 515 Podcast Network. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, whatever you need to do to help support us. We appreciate it. And we will see you next time.